The president has taken to referring to the enemy in this war as the evildoers. It captures the essence of how most of us feel about them and nicely finesses the question of who they actually are.
We're too great a nation to allow the evildoers to affect our soul and our spirit.
Since September 11th, the rhetoric of good and evil has been used to pump up support for U.S. policies and patriotic fervor and preparing the American people for the U.S. government to invade Iraq and Afghanistan.
There comes a defining moment in the life of a nation that cries out for support. With hope towards tomorrow, it is our traditions and values that are the flames that will burn forever in this nation's soul.
The dichotomy between good and evil is a very popular theme in entertainment media. Since good guys are always fighting with evil, it gives filmmakers a great excuse to use violence. They're good guys who are all good. They can do whatever they want because they're all good, including really awful things.
Stop it. I don't know where you people.
Where's my men, Hamed?
From very early on in children's programming, children are encouraged to separate and be alienated from this other, and in fact encouraged to hate the other through a series of messages that polarize the world into good and bad. And in order to solve your problems with the enemies, you have to fight with them. And the enemy is always depicted in some kind of dehumanized way. Often the faces are covered, the voices are distorted, or their accents, foreign accents.
How many freedom fighters you killing now, Marine?
It's very clear that there's an image of the other. That's not the white European and often male image of the good guy that children are socialized into identifying with in the United States. If you analyze Hollywood movies, it's always the American person who's the central character.
Children's political ideology and ideas begin at a very early age. They're the foundations are being laid. We might not recognize it as being ideology or political, but it is. For many children, there's this kind of seamless luring of them into violence, first from seeing it on the screen, playing with the toys, and then having the video games.
Ever wonder what it's like to be 007? Be Bond. Coming this fall to a game platform near you.
This is like a grenade launcher, and it's in a video game that I have.
This grenade launcher is in your video game? And what's your video game about?
James Bond. It's about, like, you try to kill people, and they have movies about it, too.
And why are you trying to kill people in the video?
Because they're bad people.
When my grandson picks up a magazine and says, here's a terrorist, and the person that he's pointing to on the cover of the magazine, as the title makes clear, is a refugee. But he's 4 years old. He's only been exposed to what he's seen on television, what he's heard on the radio, what he hears in the chat with other kids.
Terror or risen means where the guns are.
The concept of evil is not uniquely Christian. Jacob Neusner teaches theology at Bard College. Do Christianity, Judaism, and Islam essentially define evil the same way?
They reach the same conclusion. They tell different narratives to account for the world as they see it. But their narratives, in each case, produce the same judgment, which is that mass murder of men, women, and children is evil.
It's a war without reason. It's a sin that they kill children. They haven't done anything wrong.
They feel sad that they might die.
because a bomb might go over there.
Well, I feel bad for them because some of them are dying and with the bombs, they're killing them. And I don't agree with the bombs of just dropping bombs because it kills innocent people.
Our children will inherit the world that we have created, and they will learn from the models that we have presented. Given the world that we've created, and given the ways in which we have modeled our way of being in the world, what is the future that we can expect for them?